It's July already. I don't know how the first half of this year flew by so quickly. Maybe it's because I have been busy trying so much new makeup, more makeup than I have ever tried in a 6-month period in my life. And today I am going to share with you an elite 15 products that I consider the best of the best that have been mostly released this year. So let's get into talking about these products, many of which I am wearing on my face today. And when we get to those, I will let you know. And I do have video of me applying some of these products. But we are going to start off with an eyeshadow palette that I am not wearing and that, quite frankly, I did not see coming in terms of ending up on my favorites list. It is the palette that I bought to push myself outside of my comfort zone. I am talking about the Pastel Dream palette from Danessa Myricks Beauty. She's bright and she's bold, but that does not mean that she isn't wearable. These mattes are so incredibly smooth and buttery, and they blend out so beautifully that you do not have to worry about the brightness of this shade. Yes, if you wanted to wear it that bright, you could, but this buffs out to be something just really beautiful and ethereal and certainly wonderful for spring, and I would say summer as well. The shimmers in this palette are also phenomenal. They're much more wearable than I think you might anticipate. I also consider this one of the best of 2025 because of the innovative nature of this product. This is a part of Danessa Myricks' Freedom System, which means you can pop out these individual shadows to create your own customized palette. And this is nice and lightweight and slim, so made for travel, and she's magnetized. Next up, we have to talk about Viseart. I have 3 of the 15 spaces dedicated to Viseart eyeshadow palettes. The first palette that I want to talk to you about is the Paris Mattes palette. Now, at first, this may look kind of boring to you, but when I wear this palette, that of course has Viseart's signature matte formula, which blends out so beautifully, I just feel so soft and feminine and beautiful and romantic. This palette is an absolute dream, guys, and I know that it just came back in stock, so if you were interested in getting this one, you should move quickly because I'm going to guess it's going to sell out again. And now we have to talk about the grungy sister to Paris Mattes. And if you are a fan of Viseart, you may know which one I am talking about, Ceranu's Étendue. This palette really made a lot of people who haven't paid attention to Viseart in years sit up and pay attention. You can create some really soft looks with this palette, but you also have these 2 deep, sexy shimmers to work with. They are absolutely beautiful, and they pair so beautifully with some of the other shimmer shades. I just love this goldy shade paired with either this black or brown in the outer corner. And then, of course, you've got this duochrome that you can put in the center of your eye for a nice pop. You've also got some great basic matte shades for building out the structure of your eyes. This is a phenomenal palette, and I don't think there is anything else quite like it, which is another reason that it is on my favorites list, because aside from an eyeshadow palette performing well, I need things in my collection that don't look like everything else. And the grungy sister does not look like anything else that I have. The last Viseart palette that I want to tell you about is one of their newest releases. This is Lila's Lumiere Etendu. She's so gorgeous, guys. I love that you have both gold and silver shimmers in here. And you've got beautiful soft pinks and also different degrees of sort of a taupey brown. I just want to show you some of the different matte shadows here so that you can see the range of those. The shimmers in here are also really, really beautiful, and there's enough variation here for you to build some really different, beautiful looks. I want a palette that I can get a lot of different looks out of, where the color story is cohesive, yet offers me a lot of different options. And I think that that is what this palette does so, so well. So there are the shimmers there. You have really a silver, a taupe, a gold, and then this is a pinky shimmer here. So this palette is a true workhorse that can give you so many different looks. I absolutely love it. We are going to move on to the final eyeshadow palette that I wanted to mention today. And I feel like this is a bit polarizing. I saw a lot of hate for this palette online, and I don't know, maybe that's why I wanted to throw it in, because I think this palette is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. I am talking about the Bloom palette from Natasha Denona. I've been able to create so many beautiful looks with this palette. I do think in this one that you have enough variation to create really different looks, because you do have some incredibly beautiful peachy mattes here. And on the eyes, some of these peachy mattes, on me at least, look a little bit pink. And so what that means is that I can go with a matte that looks peachy, or I can go with a matte that looks pinky. And so for me, that spells variation. She also included in here some different mattes that are more sort of on the plummy side. You've got this really plummy matte, and then you've got these two that are more sort of getting into the brown family. So again, some really great variation here on these mattes. I also think that the matte formula in here is an improvement over her cream to powder formula. This is the palette that I am wearing today. I grabbed one of these pinkier mattes and ran that through the crease. You can see that that just blends out seamlessly using a Rephr 16 brush. I then, of course, had to use the plummy matte, and I grabbed a Shoto Rephr brush to put that into the outer corner to deepen that up, and also deepened up the crease. And then I used two of the shimmery, sort of wet looking topper shades to finish out this look, starting off with Equinox that has this beautiful shift. I patted that through the center of my eye, overlapping a bit with that outer corner shade. And then I finished this off with Crisp in the inner corner and inner third of my eye. I am really happy with the way that this look turned out. It comes together so quickly, and it's so beautiful, so everyday. And it is that ability to create beautiful daytime, quick looks that makes this palette a staple palette and one of my favorites for 2025 so far. I'm going to talk now about two more products that are in the eye beautification category. First up, I want to talk about a mascara that is brand new to my collection. I haven't been testing it that long, and yet I am completely confident throwing this in. I am talking about the Cloud Mascara from Swede Beauty. You guys, this mascara does it all. It produces incredible length. I have never seen my lashes look so long after applying mascara. Because of the shape of the brush, I am able to get every single lash. I am able to grab those little lashes at the front and fluff them up. I am even able to use this on my bottom lashes, which historically I've really struggled with. But again, with the shape and the size of the bristles of this brush, I can, with just a little bit of a head tilt down, get my bottom lashes coated nicely. I have found that if I go in with a second coat, that is where I can really build up a more volumized lash look. I am absolutely loving this mascara. I think it makes my eyelashes look phenomenal. And on that note, I think I have to bring in another product from Swede Beauty. I am talking about their lash serum. While I give this mascara major props, I have more lashes now because of Swede Beauty's lash serum. I have more lashes, I have longer lashes, I have tried Grande Lash, which of course caused some irritation around my eyes. I have also tried the lash serum from The Ordinary. I have tried one from Beauty Pie. Nothing has done for my eyelashes what this Swede Beauty formula is. If you want longer lashes, if you feel like no mascara that you have tried actually really does anything different than any other mascara, then I'd recommend these to you guys. I absolutely love them. They are the best. We're going to switch gears now to complexion. We are going to start off talking about a category that I have been learning to become more comfortable with. And maybe that is because I have found a product that I really, really enjoy and find easy to use. And I am talking about the Cream Contour Stick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have mine in halftone. It is so easy to swipe this on, place it exactly where I want it. I just grab a brush and start blending it out, and it blends so easily and really blends in a way that is very natural. If I find that I have overdone it in a spot, I kind of feel like I can just wipe it away right there. So in that sense, this stick is very sort of goof proof, or if you do goof, it's easy to remedy that. And as a fair skinned person, I think that this shade, halftone, is absolutely perfect. I want to talk to you about the customizable quads from Hourglass. Are we talking about new shades here? No, but it is the fact that you were able to customize your own palette. That was a huge difference for me. And again, this gets back to being a really fair-skinned person, because when Hourglass releases these beautiful special edition 6-pan palettes every holiday season, and more recently, they started to throw in shades for bronzing, I couldn't buy any of those that offered a bronzer because they were all too deep for my skin tone. This bronzer truly does work for my skin tone, and I will put all of the shade names down in the description box if you are interested in trying these. I also really love the blush in here. The highlighter is okay, and I gotta say the finishing powder that I picked, while it's beautiful from a performance standpoint, it is a little bit darker for me, but this is on the best of 2025 because of the ability to create a palette that is just for you, and I love this thing. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really, really helps my channel, and I hope that if you are not subscribed, you will consider subscribing, because you know that you want to come back and hear me talk about blush. You want to hear about this. This is the next product on our list. I am talking about the Saie Super Suede blushes. I have 3 shades of this blush, you guys. I feel a little bit nuts for doing that. I really, really do. But when I bought the first one, which I got in Grazie, and I saw how beautifully it performed, how easily it went on, that I wasn't worried that I would overdo it and create really sort of this fake stripy look, I I started to look at the other shades. Once I saw how it performed, I was like, oh, do I need another one? And so then I bought Amore. And then I bought Mia. Little by little, this collection grew. There are those three shades there. We've got the first one I picked up, Grazie. We've got Amore, and we have Mia here on the end. They're all beautiful, and there is a time and place in my life for all of them. It is the formula on these guys. And I know a lot of people knock the packaging. They said, oh, the packaging, it feels cheap. And I don't know, it doesn't really bother me, guys, because I feel like the price on these is really good. I didn't expect like, Tom Ford packaging or something like that. And I was much more concerned with the way that these performed, the way that they looked when I applied them. And I still enjoyed applying them, even though the packaging is plastic. I still got just as much joy out of using them. So a favorite for sure. And if I mean, come on. The Rare Beauty Soft Matte Bouncy Blush. You guys, I love this blush. I love this blush so, so much. I would say even more so than the Say. This just applies so beautifully. I got the shade Hope, and it just looks so airy on the skin. I feel like it really creates sort of this blurred effect that just makes everything on my skin look better. It can be blended out so beautifully so that it looks natural. I gotta tell you, I was at Sephora today. I was at Sephora today, and I was so tempted, you guys, to buy another shade or two of this blush. I didn't do it, okay? Because I bought a totally different blush, but that's for another video. But yes, this blush is phenomenal, you guys. If you have not tried this, you got to get this blush. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to top this, because this blush is different than I feel like almost anything out there in the American marketplace. I mean, I've heard it compared to more sort of K-beauty, and I know that Sephora is growing their inventory of K-beauty products, but there's nothing like this. There's nothing like it. Phenomenal. And now let us talk powder. I have two powders on my best of list. And guys, I am a tough customer when it comes to powder. And that is because I am fortunate enough to have the OG Prism Libre loose setting powder that has more of sort of a matte finish compared to the reformulation. And so I am comparing every powder that I try against that powder. This is cheating a little bit because it is only the new packaging that brings this as a 2025 product, but I recently picked up the Huda Easy Bake powder, and I gotta say, guys, I mean, I think that this performs really well in side-by-side tests with the OG Prism Libre powder. It really does a great job of blurring pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. It does create this really sort of soft, airy look to the skin, and it has this cute little puff. No, I'll say that the novelty of the mini packaging has already sort of worn off. While I love playing with makeup, I don't like spending 10 years trying to apply powder all over my face, and so the mini puff is not practical. But I guess if you're traveling or you wanted to throw a loose powder in your bag for touch-ups during the day, then this is a great powder. And it really does get the job done in terms of the blurring effect and really just creating this nice, smooth look to your skin. We got to talk about the Givenchy Prism Libre Pressed Powder. This one performs If you're talking about a setting powder, like the OG Prism Libre loose powder, if you want that performance, but you do not want to have to buy the loose powder that has sort of that, we're going to say, more sort of glowy look, then this is a good option for you. It's also great for touch-ups. I think it's just phenomenal that they were able to create a beautiful pressed powder to make up for all of the anger that they caused by reformulating their loose setting powder. I am just going to touch up now. In fact, this is the brush that it comes with. I am very happy that it comes with a brush. This is not the kind of brush that I use at home for the most part, but of course, like I said, this is a great powder for touching up during the day. I do like the shape, and it feels sort of nice to just sort of. Just so you know, this does have some scent to it, so if you're sensitive to scent, keep that in mind. But if you're looking for a great pressed powder that is going to get you close to the OG Prism Libre powder, then this is it, and I think it is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, Givenchy. That leaves us with just two more products, and both of these products are from the lip category, and they are both lip oils. First up, this is kind of cheating too, but guys, I gotta put this on the list. I have to. This is the Comfort Lip Oil from Clarins. This is oftentimes one of my early steps in my makeup routine so that I can start to lay down a little bit of color on my lips. It feels absolutely nourishing. It looks beautiful. It's not like once the sort of glossiness goes away that your lips feel uncomfortable or dry, but it does sort of wear off. This is where the next product comes in. I am talking about the lip stain from Violette FR. I tried the Coffee lip stains, and while I raved about them at first, I did find after a time that the stain did not wear off evenly. Or maybe I should say when the glossiness came off, that the stain that was left behind was uneven. And so that made me feel a little uncomfortable and self-conscious. I mean, if I'm going to have a lip stain, I want it to look natural. And that is exactly what the Violette FR lip stain offers. It is absolutely gorgeous going on. The applicator has this nice fine tip at the end so that you can sort of get the precision that you want. You can also really get this beautiful, glossy, glassy look to your lips. And here is the kicker. As this wears off from drinking out of your water bottle, eating lunch, doing all sorts of activities throughout your day, it is going to show a stain that is much more even looking, which means it's going to look like your lips are just that color. And that is exactly what I wanted. I am wearing it right now. You can see that some of the glossiness has worn off, and this is really the stain that I am left with. Violette, we need more shades. That's the only thing that's not good here. We need more shades. This is a new launch, so it's possible that she really wanted to see how this was going to go, how well this was going to be received, and hopefully we will get a shade extension in the future, because I think this is, in my mind right now, based on what I have tried, this is the perfect lip oil stain product. So there are the 15 products that made my list of best of 2025 so far. I hope this has helped you today if you are considering purchasing some new makeup products, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for being here today. Again, please subscribe if you haven't. I've got a lot of great content planned for July, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.